Clearly, though, it's Nvidia that has to be the focus of the market. Yesterday, down 10%, even before we got news that the antitrust probe. Bloomberg Intelligence antitrust litigation and policy analyst Justin Teresi joins us now. So I guess there's a couple of issues here, Justin. First of all, the huge drop. They were literally decimated in yesterday's trade. And then after that, we got this antitrust probe. Did people know? Was there a leak before the announcement?
So busy day for sure, I'd say, for Nvidia. But what's really important to remember here is that news broke a couple months ago that DOJ was already starting a probe into Nvidia on a series of antitrust concerns. So it's this next step here, the issuance of a subpoena. In many ways, that was really expected. All that had happened before is that informal inquiries were issued that didn't really have the force of law behind them. So what this does is guarantees now that Nvidia, in complying with the subpoena, which will take quite some time, I should add, what that's going to do is Nvidia is going to have to certify, basically, that what they're producing and handing over to DOJ is the kit and caboodle of what they're asking about.
And so I'm curious about how this wraps into sort of the U.S.'s geopolitical ambitions when it comes to the chip industry, because Nvidia is the global leader in chip making, and you have to think that the United States wants it to keep that position.
Well, that is certainly the argument you're hearing from some folks on Capitol Hill right now with regard to the antitrust concerns that we're looking at.
Well, we should also point out, Nvidia doesn't make chips, right? Nvidia gives their designs to TSMC to make chips.
Well,
in Taiwan.
Be that as it may, we're seeing acquisitions by Nvidia now, right, where this issue of consolidation in that space is raising some red flags. But to your point, too, about global dominance, we're seeing investigations of Nvidia by several authorities around the world. The most stark maybe being the French raid of a Nvidia office last fall, which was followed up with news last month that charges are likely to happen there in France. So it's not isolated to America. We're seeing this around the world. And really, this issue of dominance is one that some folks are actually saying is a fallacy in the AI space.
But Nvidia is so far ahead of the pack at this point. How much are these allegations, or even the probe itself, really something that would lead to more of a slap on the wrist rather than a dire outcome?
Right. So it's impossible just yet to know exactly where DOJ is going. We're getting these mini leaks, if you will, the last few months, right? So what we know so far is that consolidation in the industry might be one issue they're curious about, but another might be things like tying products together, forcing customers perhaps to buy two products instead of one. In order to get the services of one product, you have to buy both of them. Those are things that can raise an anti-competitive flag when somebody has an extreme market domination position. So that's something we think authorities are looking into. But we're years away, I think, from any structural behavioral changes that we're likely to see at the hands of this investigation. It's going to take a long time for DOJ to get through these documents that they're going to get from the subpoena.
Justin, we thank you so much for your time. Bloomberg Intelligence, Antitrust Litigation, and Policy Analyst Justin Teresi.